Are you looking for some transfer tips ahead of game week 4? Then this is the video for you. I go through some of the key players that you should be looking to bring in and maybe some players that you should be looking to take out of your team. Let's get into it. G'day mate, welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Root and welcome back to another FPL video. So like I said, in today's video, we're going to be going through some of the key transfers that you should be looking to make ahead of game week 4. And I wanted to start off with Bryan and Mbeumo. So what a game week for him. In game week 3, 2 goals against Southampton. Probably should have had a hat-trick as well. But yeah, incredible score, 14 points. Absolutely smashed it against Southampton. Obviously, now we look at him, that game's gone. So now we've got to look at the future really for him. He's 7 million. He's just over 6.5% owned. So still a massive, massive differential. Well done to those that did have him for game week 3. If you look at his stats for the whole season, so 3 goals, 6 shots with 4 of them being on target, 4 shots in the box. Expected goals is only 0.91, so he's been scoring some bangers the way that this is kind of showing in terms of the stats. Big chances 2, big chances created 4, key passes 7. Like I said though, Southampton at home is now out the way and the fixtures do look very, very tough for Bryan and Mbeumo and for Brentford. So Man City away and then Spurs away. Very, very tough away games for them, but you can probably see them scoring against Spurs and potentially Man City as well, considering Man City's defence is not amazing. West Ham at home, then they've got Wolves at home, then Man United away. So a nice couple fixtures there, home games kind of either side of some 3 tough away games. And for me, that is slightly putting me off, to be honest, especially the City and Spurs games. I know I said that Spurs' defence is not amazing, but it's still a tough game going to the Tottenham Stadium, and obviously Man City's Man City. For me though, if you're wildcarding, I'd probably bring him in, even despite them fixtures. If you're not, I don't think this is the week to kind of bring him in with Man City away up next. I think there's probably better players in your team that have got better fixtures. Or, don't get me wrong, if you're looking to maybe move on in Kunku and you need to do it now, otherwise you're not going to have enough players playing for game week 4, then I would do it. But if you've got a player, maybe like an Eze, maybe like another player that has a decent fixture, then I probably wouldn't do it. I'd probably wait until game week 5 or game week 6, to be honest with you. And especially trying to capture them 2 home games against West Ham and Wolves. Let me know what you think in the comment section below and we'll get on to the next player. Next up, we have another player that did do very, very well in game week 3. It is Semenyo, the Bournemouth midfielder. So obviously now that Solanke's left, Semenyo has started to take a position a little bit further up the pitch. He's still not playing up front, but he is definitely more attacking. He's 3.6% owned and he comes in at 5.5 million, so a very, very nice price. And so far this season, he's been performing very well and has delivered in every single game. So 2 goals, 1 assist for him. Shots, 17, which is ridiculous. If we compare it to Mbeumo, who scored 3 goals, he only had 6 shots, so 17 shots is ridiculous. However, 4 of them only on target. 11 shots in the box, so he's getting into the inside the box, he's getting into them, I guess, dangerous areas. Also, expected goals is 1.19 and 1.3 expected assists. So some really, really nice stats for Semenyo. But again, like Mbeumo, has 2 kind of tougher games coming up next with Chelsea at home and then Liverpool away. To be honest, I don't hate the Chelsea at home game because I don't think Chelsea's defence is, like I said, amazing. But them fixtures, Southampton at home and then Leicester away and then Arsenal at home as well. But definitely Southampton and Leicester look very, very nice for Semenyo. Again, if you're looking for a player around this price point, I don't think you can do too much better than someone like Semenyo, to be honest with you. Again, tough fixtures, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal in the next 5, but you've got that Southampton at home game and you've got that Leicester away game, which I think you can do real damage in. We've seen them scoring goals so far this season as well. So they scored 3, obviously, against Everton, and then they got 1 in the other game and 1 in the other game in game week 1. So they are scoring goals, Bournemouth, even without Solanke. Potentially, you could see Semenyo being on pens as well. So that's another big factor. And for 5.5 million, I think he's going to be a bargain. Do I think bring him in this week, though? I'd say yes. Like I said, if you need a player to play this week, then yes, because I don't think Chelsea at home is a that bad of a fixture. However, you gotta, I'd say, have some sort of rotation for that Liverpool away game and that Arsenal at home game. If you can do that and work your way and use your squad that way, then amazing. If you have to play him in them fixtures, okay, it's not the end of the world, but yeah, it's not ideal considering how good Liverpool and Arsenal's defence actually is. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and we'll move on to the next player. So next up we have Manchester City's Rico Lewis, who comes in at 4.6 million and just over 5% owned. So he did get an assist against West Ham in game week 3, ended up on 6 points, and obviously he did get that clean sheet against Chelsea in game week 1. And he's played 90 minutes in every single game so far this season. So obviously we know what Pep's like, so I'm not going to say he is a guaranteed starter, but it does look like he is being favoured at the moment over the likes of Kyle Walker. Even when Kyle Walker did come on in game week 3, he came on for Gavardio, which was kind of interesting to see. That the fact that he didn't take off Rico Lewis. So it seems like Rico Lewis is being trusted, and to be honest, he's been putting in some good performances for Man City so far this season. Like I said, he did get the assist in game week 3. Other than that, he's been getting into some dangerous positions. As you can see, 0.75 expected goals, which again is not massive, but it's pretty decent for a defender, and 2 big chances as well. So he's getting in them positions, and for me, I hate to say it, but I think he can be a really, really good option. The reason I say I hate to say it is because obviously it's Pep roulette. We don't know if he's going to start. We don't know if he's going to completely change the system. We don't know if he's going to start Walker, start 4 centre-backs. We just don't know. But he started and played 90 minutes in the first 3 games. So for me, I'm going to say that he's going to be starting more times than not now. The fixtures for Man City are a mixed bag, I'd say. Brentford at home up next. Then they've got Arsenal at home, Newcastle away. So that's a tough couple games there for Man City. But then Fulham and Wolves. For me, I reckon I'd bring him in. If we were looking for a player around this price point, I know it is risky, but I'd probably bring him in, especially for that Brentford at home fixture. I think that could be a nice fixture for Man City in terms of clean sheet and in terms of attacking returns for Rico Lewis. Arsenal at home is going to be tough, so probably try and find someone that you could maybe rotate with. And then Newcastle away again is going to be tough. But then they've got Fulham at home and Wolves away, which is very, very nice. Again, for me, if you can deal with the Pep roulette, if you got someone on your bench, if you can deal with the 1-pointer, Rico Lewis coming off the bench, then go for it. Because I think he's got some decent upside and some decent attacking return potential. And obviously Man City defensively are half decent. But if you can't take it and you want guaranteed starters, then stay clear of anyone from Man City, to be honest with you, apart from Haaland and maybe De Bruyne and Ederson. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and we'll get on to the next player. Before we do get on to the next player, I just wanted to say, if you are watching and you are not subscribed to the channel, please do consider subscribing. It's completely free and it does help me out a lot. If not, please make sure you do like the video, because that would be very, very helpful. So we've got Joao Pedro, comes in at 5.6 million, 23% owned. He's got 2 and 2 now, so he's got a goal against Man United at home in game week 2 and a goal against Arsenal away in game week 3. So he's been in very, very good form. And to be honest, he should have got a goal in that Everton away game where they did beat them 3-0. And Brighton have started the season so well with 2 victories and a draw away at Arsenal. You can't really ask for too much more. And Joao Pedro has been a key part of that. Like I said, 2 goals, 5 shots, 3 on target, 3 shots in the box. Expected goals 0.86, and expected assists is 0.29. Big chances too. The fixtures for Brighton are so good now. So they've played Man United, they've played Arsenal. Joao Pedro has delivered in them games, but now the fixtures start to turn and they look very, very nice for Brighton. Ipswich at home, then they've got Forest at home. So two of the best fixtures, to be honest with you. Then they've got Chelsea away, Spurs at home, Newcastle away. But the way Brighton are playing at the moment, I can see them scoring against anyone. We've seen them score against Man United twice. We've seen them score against Arsenal at the Emirates. And for me, I'm not scared to play my Brighton players in any of them games, Chelsea, Spurs or Newcastle, to be honest with you. And I think we should be looking to have at least 2 Brighton players for this upcoming run of fixtures. Like I said, especially the next 2 games against Ipswich and against Nottingham Forest. For me, yeah, Brighton players, bring him in. Joao Pedro, I think, is probably the best option to go for, considering he's only 5.6 million. He's down as a forward and he's on penalties as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section below and we'll get on to the next player. Next up, we've got a bit of I guess, a downer to talk about. It is Ollie Watkins. So comes in at 9 million. Obviously, a lot of people have owned him from the beginning, or have bought him in on their wild card in game week 3. Unfortunately, he has kind of flattered to deceive a little bit. He did end up getting an assist though against Leicester, but he hasn't looked great, to be honest, and his replacement has looked very, very good every time he's come off the bench. It is the Duran, I think I'm saying his name right, Duran, Duran, sorry. And then, yeah, like I said, he's come off after 60 minutes in the first 3 games. Whether that's because they have a brilliant replacement off the bench in Duran, or whether that means Ollie Watkins is a little bit tired from the Euros, a little bit tired from Villa's kind of long campaign last season. I'm not too sure. However, it is a little bit worrying, to be honest with you. And even if you look at the stats, 4 shots in the box. He's expected obviously 1.57 because he missed them absolute sitters against Arsenal. But other than that, he doesn't look good at all, to be totally honest with you. I know things can change very, very quickly, and they've got the fixtures to do that, Villa. Everton at home, Wolves at home, Ipswich away, Man United at home, Fulham away. However, 9 million is a lot of money. And when you've got players like Joao Pedro there at 5.6 million who have very, very nice fixtures too, it's hard to recommend Ollie Watkins. Would I sell? Absolutely not. I wouldn't sell. I think you have to keep him for now until maybe he doesn't get a start. Then when he doesn't get a start, then I'll probably take him out. But for now, there's no way I'd be taking him out against Everton, who have conceded so many goals already this season. To be honest with you, they conceded 3 against Brighton. They conceded 4 against Spurs, and they've conceded 3 against Bournemouth. So I can definitely see Ollie Watkins doing well in that game. And if he doesn't, then maybe you can consider taking him out. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and we'll get on to the next player. So before we do get on to the next player, if you want to find loads of stats like this on screen, get your team rated by AI, or have AI recommend your transfers for you, then check out the link in the description below, or scan the QR code on screen to join Fantasy Football Hub. So they're doing a massive promotion at the minute, so definitely go check them out. You can get your team rated actually for free as well, so check that out anyway if you didn't want to join the membership. It does help me out as well a lot. So we'll start off with Cole Palmer here and this player. So 10.6 million is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, it is a lot of money. But what a start to the season he's had so far. 1 goal, 3 assists. Yes, it did all come in that game against Wolves where they did score 6 goals. But for me, it just goes to show that him playing centrally is just so effective. 41% owned now as well, so quite highly owned. And to be honest, I'm gutted he's not in my team. I really like Palmer, and I really like him for the upcoming fixtures for Chelsea. This is actually being filmed before their home fixture against Palace, but I'm sure he's going to do well in that as well. If you look at the stats, like I said, 1 goal, 3 assists, 7 shots, 2 in the box. Expected goals 0.75, 0.73 expected assists. Looking very nice, to be honest, as an option, and especially with how many attacking options Chelsea have at the minute, you can't really guarantee a start for any of the other ones. Madueke and Kunku, Jackson, who you got, Modric. You can't really guarantee that, and Palmer you can guarantee that, and you can also guarantee penalties as well. Bournemouth away, West Ham away, yes, 2 away games, but you fancy Chelsea to score in them games. Then they've got Brighton at home, Forest at home. So some really nice fixtures over the next 4 for Cole Palmer. If I can, I'd get him in your team, to be totally honest with you. I'd try and get him in, maybe use some of the other options I've recommended in this video, like Semenyo, to maybe afford to get in Palmer. But for me, I'd try and get him in if you can. Honestly, them fixtures are very good. I think, obviously, Salah's doing well this season. Haaland's a must, I think. So it's going to be hard to get in all 3, but I've made a draft and I do think it is doable. If you did want to check that out, I did do a draft wildcard for game week 3, and I had Palmer, Salah and Haaland in, so definitely check that out if you are looking to build a wildcard, because it's pretty much the same as it would be in game week 4. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you own Palmer? That's what I want to know. Next up, we've got Eze, so the Crystal Palace midfielder. He's now 6.9 million because people have sold him, which for me was a massive shock. His stats kind of show, again, this is only for 2 fixtures. This is being filmed before the Chelsea Palace game. But for the 2 fixtures he's played so far, he's had 12 shots, 4 on target, 6 of them in the box. He's a midfielder. He's a midfielder and he's had 6 shots in the box. 0.89 expected goals, 0.21 expected assists. His stats look very, very good, and I'm so shocked that people have decided to start to take him out. And to be honest, I think he's going to do well in this game week 3 fixture against Chelsea, and then maybe that will start to turn things around. But the fact that he's dropped in price is a joke, to be honest with you. Leicester at home up next, Man United at home. You can see him scoring or doing well in both them games. Then he's got Everton away and Liverpool at home. So some good fixtures there for Eze, and the tough fixtures are both at home as well. Obviously, I do understand that maybe Palace haven't shown how good they were last season so far, to be honest. They lost against Brentford, lost against West Ham. But I feel like with these fixtures, I think it's a time to kind of start to turn their beginning of their season around and do well. And to be honest, I can see them getting a result against Chelsea in game week 3 anyway. Let me know if you took out Eze, because if you did, I'd like to say a few words to you. But apart from that, let's get on to the next player. So next up, I want to talk about Andrew Robertson. So the Liverpool fullback. So he comes in at 6 million and he's just over 5.4% owned. So Robertson has played both games so far. Again, this has been filmed before the Liverpool Man United game on Monday night. He hasn't got any attacking returns, but I actually really like him as an option because he's 6 million. He's 1 million less than Trent, same price as Van Dijk. I just feel like he is going to go a little bit under the radar this season. And the fact that you are saving money, I think he could be a nice option to go for. His kind of attacking threat is not there. 2 shots, 2 on target. 2 of them in the box though, which is big for a defender. Okay, he's not as good as Trent. Yeah, let's just put that out there. He's not as good as Trent. But you are saving 1 million. Can he get close to Trent? Definitely. I think he can. Is Trent almost, I guess, guaranteed to start every game? I'd probably say yes. However, I do think Robbo is as well, to be honest with you. And like I said, the fixtures for Liverpool are a bit of a joke, to be honest. They've obviously just come off the back of playing Man United away, which will happen on Monday night. Then they've got Forest at home, Bournemouth at home. Brilliant fixtures. Wolves away, Palace away. So them 2 home fixtures, I can definitely see 2 clean sheets for Liverpool. Even that Wolves game, I can see a clean sheet. I think their defence looks solid this season, and I think Robertson could go under the radar. I also think Van Dijk's a good option, and Trent. If you can afford Trent, definitely go for Trent. But money's a little bit tight at the moment with Salah, Palmer and Haaland doing very, very well, as mentioned. So potentially you could save a bit of money by going Robertson. We'll probably have to see a little bit more attacking wise, but I do really like him as an option. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now we've got the Manchester United defender Mazraoui. So he comes in at 4.5 million and he's had a pretty decent start to his Man United career. Obviously, they did end up losing against Brighton in game week 2, but he did end up getting an assist, and obviously he got a clean sheet against Fulham in game week 1. 4.5 million, 12% owned. So obviously with Man United players, people are going to own them. That's just the way it is with how popular they are as a team to support. But the fixtures for Man United, I actually do really like. And I feel like even if Man United are terrible, their defence is half okay in terms of clean sheet wise, not in terms of looking with your eyes. Southampton away, Palace away. Okay, Southampton away should be a good fixture. Then Spurs at home, Villa away. It is a tough sort of fixture, but I think especially a Southampton away game could be a nice one to play, and then maybe you can rotate him against Spurs and Villa. But definitely, I think the next 2 are okay for Mazraoui. Do I think he's the best 4.5 million option? Absolutely not. However, there are a lot of people bringing him in because of the fact that he did get an assist. He looks like to have at least one of the fullback spots nailed now. I know obviously Luke Shaw's injured. You've got Wan-Bissaka that left the club as well, and he can play both sides, which I think is a key factor. And to be honest, I don't trust anyone like Maguire because you've got De Ligt coming in. So if you did want to cover Man United defence, I think he is the best option. And 4.5 million to get a Manchester United defender, if they do start to perform, I think could be a bargain. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and we'll get on to the next player. Next up, we've got Marc Cucurella. Comes in at 5 million. The Chelsea fullback, I actually really like him as an option, to be honest with you. He's 6% owned, and he started the first 2 games for Chelsea. This has been filmed before their Palace fixture. Obviously, he hasn't delivered anything because they lost to Man City 2-0 and they conceded 2 against Wolves. However, he's not really in for the clean sheets, which is tough to say for a 5 million defender, but he's not. And to be honest, if they were going to keep a clean sheet, Chelsea, these would be the fixtures to do it in. They've got Bournemouth away, West Ham away, then Brighton at home, Forest at home. So some nice fixtures there. And I think Cucurella is always good for an attacking threat. We've seen him in the Euros play for Spain, obviously a different style of play, etc. But we've seen him get forward, we've seen him get attacking returns. And to be honest, with Ben Chilwell being left to play with the reserves, there's not really any other competition for left back for him. Colwill can play there, but I just can't see that happening, to be honest. And for me, if you were looking for a player, maybe a Chelsea defender to target their good fixture runs, I think Cucurella is the best option to go for. But that was it for this video. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, check out Fantasy Football Hub with the link in the description, and good luck for the game week.